Well, we don't normally talk about it, but the number of kids dying by suicide is staggering. It's not just high schoolers or even teenagers, but kids as young as 5 years old that sometimes take their own lives.
Yeah, black children are dying by suicide at 2 times the rate of their peers. And experts say because of bad record keeping, the numbers are likely higher than they appear. And
today we continue this conversation with part 2 of our 3-part series, A Different Cry. We do need to warn you, this story contains racist language and graphic descriptions of death by suicide that involves children.
He was my special child. When I was told I couldn't have no more kids, I had him. So that's why I call him my special baby.
He was so full of energy and he loved dressing in costumes. He'll come out wearing a Batman, mask and Superman cape.
7-year-old Jeffrey Taylor died the day after an incident at school.
I feel like my baby just was pushing everything in that little brain of his a 7-year-old, dealing with calling and snagging too. You're ugly, you dress funny. He did not want us to go up there and embarrass him because he didn't want to get nobody in trouble. So he didn't say nothing, he was just dealing with it and praying for them.
Since 1998, at least 700 black children have died by suicide. 7-year-old Jeffrey Taylor's death isn't in those numbers. It was ruled an accident.
We know a lot about what works for white youth in terms of preventing suicide, and we just don't have that same evidence base or literature around black youth suicide.
Suicides are regularly undercounted, especially among people of color.
We've gone from feeling like suicide really wasn't an issue for black and brown communities to now realizing that black and brown kids, and particularly young black males, are dying at rates double that of our white peers.
Racial trauma and a lack of mental health care are making the problem worse.
I grew up hearing that if you're experiencing anxiety or depression, you just need to pray harder. I didn't have the right to feel anxiety. I didn't have the right to feel emotional pain. We saw the deaths of George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery and Breonna Taylor. And for black and brown kids that see this over time, that starts to weigh on anyone.
His parents say the weight of it all was just too much for Jeffrey.
Everybody's a woulda, coulda, shoulda until it happens to you. Woulda, shoulda, coulda. Wish I woulda, shoulda, coulda had my son.
Now, the full series, A Different Cry, is on our Roku and Fire TV streaming apps. In fact, you'll find the full versions of these stories there. Tomorrow night at 10 o'clock, we'll feature one more story with advice for parents.
And you can also get resources on how to start the conversation in your own home by going to kcentv.com/a different cry.